Tonight, a first lawsuit of its kind in the latest efforts to punish people who assist abortions in states where it's increasingly criminalized. Marcus Silva of Galveston County, Texas, filing a civil suit against 3 friends of his now ex-wife for allegedly helping her obtain pills used to terminate her pregnancy last year. The suit, a wrongful death suit on behalf of Mr. Silva's unborn child, alleges that assisting a self-managed abortion qualifies as murder under Texas state law. In a statement to ABC News, a lawyer from a firm representing Silva saying abortion harms not only the unborn children who are killed, but also the fathers who have had their fatherhood stolen from them. In a photo from the suit, 2 of the defendants and Ms. Silva are seen here dressed for Halloween in costumes from the Handmaid's Tale TV series. Ms. Silva's ex-husband demanding more than $1 million from each of the defendants.
Yeah, that guy actually used that photo in the lawsuit to talk about I'm not actually sure the connection they're trying to make, but they were wearing those costumes as, again, from the Handmaid's Tale, and we think we know the story from that. But still, this is what they point out in that lawsuit, because he pointed out the 3 of them that were his wife and then the 2 friends, about how they're dressed up in those costumes. Is this a scary point? Or supposed to say, like, look, they're coming for you? That's usually the approach that they take when it comes to these types of things. But then again, the reason why he's going after these friends and maybe not his ex-wife, his name is Marcus Silva, is because Texas law contains exemptions for people who terminate their own pregnancies, I guess from being sued, but maybe not from other lawsuits that they're trying to push at them. Others can be targeted, though, for helping that person. This is for the cooling off process and making sure that people don't help others, that humanity aspect of our lives, because that's the way we operate here in this country. Still, here's some of the things that they also point out as well, because she was texting her friends asking for the help. And this guy Silva went through his wife's phone and found some of these things. Here's some of the exchanges that were just horrific. Her friend said, delete all conversations from today. You don't want them looking through it. She says, point out she got it and she will. And get rid of the test and the wrapper, not at home, like as soon as you are home. And she asked more questions about her trying to get access to it. So I don't qualify for the financial help for the number you gave me. But she said you can refer me to places in New Mexico or Colorado. And they're still offering some more of that support. The reasons why they're probably telling her to delete these messages from her phone is because they realize her husband is going to be coming after her for these types of things. And who knows how angry, violent, or worried that they may be that this could happen. But again, we keep crossing over and missing this one very large aspect of this. They're talking about a human. No, not the potential pregnancy, but the human, a grown adult woman who's making decisions about her own health care and her own body, and how now this is now a lawsuit to go after friends looking to help. Yo, if you said this was happening in another country, you would assume that Americans would say, whew, we're the shining example on the hill. Glad we're not there, Adrian.
Yeah, that's very much the case. We love to pull the big brother who knows everything and does well and right. And clearly we have people in Texas and a lot of other states that are enabling and allowing these really oppressive ways of life by virtue of you having a husband now suing his ex-wife's friends. Like, number one, about this husband, let me tell you, everything I have read and heard so far, it just sounds like a recipe for someone who is controlling and abusive. And that may be just my speculation, but my God, I can see why there's an X in front of his title. I really feel for this woman. I also feel for her friends. The fact is that they are going to have to defend themselves in this lawsuit. And I pray that someone is doing this pro bono, because that can be extraordinarily expensive. And all they were doing is helping this woman being able to control her destiny and future by deciding she did not want to be connected with this man for the rest of her life by virtue of a child. She should be able to control her destiny by accessing the health care that is available to her. I will say, as a litigator, I am pissed that it sounds like she did not delete those text messages. That was an iPhone by way of those blue bubbles, which means that it's not necessarily tracked unless you have it set up to say forever and it goes to the cloud. But she could have easily gotten rid of that. And the only thing that would have been available is seeing a to from data. And that's why it was important for her to delete that. And so anyone out there, if you know that you're operating with a crazy person, just delete that stuff. Delete the thread, delete it all.
I remember when the Supreme Court had their ruling come down, specifically even when it was leaked a bit beforehand, and they were the debate then became about maybe reasons why women do go through with this, and it was a litany of them. Many that people like us, the Silva guy, could never understand, and that's okay. You don't have to understand it, because that's It's not your body. But one of those was abusive relationships, maybe husbands that could be retaliatory over these types of things, any of that type of stuff. And people like to overlook those things, partially because we'll also overlook abuse in the first place. Oh, well, what is she still doing there? How many times has she had a chance to leave? Oh, yeah, why don't you just go on? There's so many different ways that abuse happens and it occurs. And then also, many people, I've heard these stories, planning these pregnancies from the male point of view to make sure that they're stuck even more. Who knows what the reasons were? Because it's none of our damn business.